Last night, a superstar was born. His name is Luka Doncic. Wow, that was special. Last night, the Mavs tied the series with the Clippers, 2 games apiece, behind Luka Doncic's 43-point triple-double and the buzzer-beater game-winning 3 in overtime. Luka finished with 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists to lead the Mavs to tie the series with the Clippers 2-2. Now, where do we start? So to get into the game, when we look at Game 3, Luka had that brutal ankle injury. I thought there's no way he's going to play Game 4, let alone the rest of the series, especially he couldn't even walk. He hobbled all the way back to the locker room, tried coming back into the game, didn't last very long. And then he was a game-time decision. He said he didn't feel well, but he said, you know what, I'm going to gut it up and I'm going to play. And then that's great that Luka's going to play, but his sidekick, Kristaps Porzingis, said he wasn't going to play in Game 4 due to a sore left knee. So then I really just thought Mavs are going to get blown out. They simply don't have enough offense. Get into that game, exactly that happened. In the second quarter, the Mavs found themselves down 21 points, and the Mavs don't have enough offense with Porzingis not playing, given he could play inside, he could shoot the 3-ball, could put the ball on the floor, great defensively, and especially that the Clippers are not a big team. They don't really have anyone to match up against a guy like Porzingis. So with him out, I thought there's no way that the Mavs have any fighter's chance, and we saw that early in that ball game. Once we get to the third quarter, Mavs chip away, chip away, chip away. Luka Doncic was special. Guys, also, I got to commend the old cliche, next man up. The Mavs did exactly that. Trey Burke, 25 points, was phenomenal. Tim Hardaway Jr., again, he knocked down crucial shots. He was special as well. And Seth Curry, man, got to give him credit. Coming off the bench, no one ever thinks of him because his superstar brother and Steph Curry. But Seth has been awesome. Pull up mid-range, stretching out the 3-point range. He's been automatic. He was awesome as well. But I want to talk about 5 minutes down the stretch and the rest of the game. Kawhi Leonard was not guarding Luka Doncic after Luka Doncic continuously just cooked the Clippers single-handedly. And Kawhi Leonard is regarded as a historically great defender and a former Defensive Player of the Year. Once 5 minutes down the stretch came, Kawhi Leonard proved why he's a consensus top 3 player in this league right now on both ends of the floor. He locked up Luka. He was phenomenal. Was right on him every time Luka got to the ball. Could not get where he wanted. He put the clamps on. And on the offensive end, bucket after bucket after bucket, whether it was his special mid-range, stretching out the 3-point range, getting to the rack. Kawhi Leonard was awesome. And another guy I got to commend on the Clippers, leading all scorers on the Clippers, Lou Williams with 36 points off the bench. He was sensational as well. But when you get into overtime, Luka really took over. And I really don't know why Reggie Jackson was guarding Luka on the last possession. Kawhi Leonard was on him to start the possession of that last shot, and then a soft screen. Kawhi Leonard did not switch. We killed other superstars in the past for not switching on those screens. So I got to keep the same energy. Why Kawhi Leonard was on Luka down the stretch in the fourth quarter and in overtime. But once the last shot came, Reggie Jackson, who is bona fide as a poor defender, was on Luka, and the rest is history. That step back 3, the Mavs tied the series. But I don't want to bash Kawhi Leonard too much because he was phenomenal yesterday. I'm going to give credit where credit's due, especially down the stretch. He was as clutch as they came, both ends of the floor, like I said before. So I'm not going to blame him. He had other help with Lou Williams, but one guy, and I give literally 99.9% of the blame to. George Paul, Pandemic P, whatever you want to call him, he has been pathetic. In these first round games, in 4 games, he's shooting in the last 3 games, he shot 10 of 47 from the field. Yesterday, he shot 3 of 14 with 9 points. That is unacceptable. Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers this summer and made the Clippers front office get George Paul with him. And this is what he signed up for. This is not what he signed up for. I think he's thinking right now, wow, I could have had it way better in Toronto, have an easier path to the finals. Pascal Siakam taking a huge step forward, maybe in the conversation for most improved player of the year. Other guys like Van Vliet, guys who've shown themselves to be clutch down the stretch. Kyle Lowry's playing really well as well. The Raptors still have great pieces, and now they just swept the Nets, so now they are looking into the second round of the playoffs. But what Kawhi Leonard signed up for with George Paul, I do not think this is what he anticipated. We've seen George Paul have come up small in the playoffs, but I don't remember anytime soon it being this bad. George Paul needs to figure it out very soon. Do I think the Clippers are still going to win this series? Of course. I don't care what the Mavs do. If the Mavs even go up 3-2, I'm taking the Clippers in 7. Right now, I'm taking the Clippers in 6. It doesn't matter. And Kristaps Porzingis' status is going to be huge moving forward. They said that he has a sore left knee. I expect him to be back for Game 5. But Luka Doncic, man, that was just special. This is what great players do. When you're hurt, when you're banged up, you fight through it and say, I'm playing, I'm willing my team to victory. That's exactly what Luka Doncic did. He is now, I will now call him a superstar in the NBA. Some people had hesitations. No more. This is his first postseason of his career. And wow, has he showed out and more. This is special. This is something we don't see every day. There's some players who are great players and will have great careers, have Hall of Fame careers. They don't have dog in them. They don't have that killer. They don't have that eye of the tiger. Luka Doncic has that. Some people may say that he doesn't just because he's not as athletic. He doesn't have that highlight. He's not a walking highlight reel dunking over guys. But the skill and the talent and the clutch genes that this guy has displayed, there's no disputing Luka Doncic's greatness. But moving forward, we got ourselves one hell of a series. And if the Clippers want to lock this series up, George Paul better figure it out and better figure it out very fast. Thanks for watching the Falco Takeaway. For more daily sports content, please follow me on the Falco Takeaway on Instagram and YouTube. And be sure to check me out on the Sports Hit List and 6048 Sports.